Hey everyone, I've had a chance now to look all through your discussion notes on the energy policy forum on the first meeting that you had. That all looks good. You've all done a good job on that. You're all basically on track. So I thought I'd take a little bit of time now and just kind of talk about what's the next step. If you have not already done so, what you're going to do next is plan out your actual debate. The debate itself is centered around the questions that I gave you and asked you to consider. I ask you to read the books so that each of you could become an expert, and experts in quotations here, in lieu of us having the actual experts, that is the authors of the books or someone like them here. You're now the proxies. You know something about their background, their positions on energy policy, and how they would react to various questions. So you've all been invited to a party or a conference to be part of an expert panel or a committee to talk about some questions that are on the nation's mind. You've been invited because you're an expert, and everyone gets to talk about the questions, but in a reasoned and rational and respectful way. There's a moderator among you whose job it is to keep things moving and under control, and the moderator wants you to move along because you're only going to be at this conference for a little while, and you've got to get your assignment done before you catch a plane to get back to your real job. So a debate is really a debate, is what it means. And the experts who are in the debate are often given questions from out of nowhere, and they are expected to give reasonable answers, sort of off the cuff sometimes, to questions in light of their personal knowledge and experience. So that's going to be you. And there are always pros and cons that get expressed from each individual, and that's what you're expected to do here. The questions are somewhat rhetorical, so as a group you need to come up with some answers and get at them from a variety of perspectives, representing the authors for whom you are the proxies. And the answers you give in this kind of professional setting might not exactly be what you would say to your spouse at home, say over the dinner table and a tuna fish sandwich. They're more scholarly approached, they're more formally thought about, and they're more reasoned expressions. So please understand that the debate is not about the individual books that I ask you to read. It's not the books themselves per se. The books are just background material that I ask you to read and absorb to help you develop some expertise so you can now talk rationally about the issues. I'm not asking you to specifically restate the author's positions or opinions, but to use those opinions and positions to inform the discussion that comes out of your own mouth. You certainly can and should refer to the books when you make a point. And in fact, since you know a little bit about all the books now, you can refer to any of them. But at this point, the responses are really yours. So let me say this again. In this debate, there should be pros and cons relative to the questions that I've asked. These are supposed to represent the opinions of the expertise that you now have. I don't expect you to simply parrot what the authors have said. You should definitely express your own opinions, but there should be some scholarly foundation or some other evidentiary basis on which you formulate those opinions. And your opinions should not just be what you heard about on Fox News last week or over the water fountain. These are scholarly, reasoned opinions that you're trying to express and debate among yourselves, knowing that all of you will have different perspectives and come at it from different ways and have different answers. At the end of the debate, you're going to produce an overall statement in response to the questions, or at least at a minimum in response to one of the questions that you can all agree on. This is essentially a consensus opinion, or what you might call a sense of the committee. It's sort of like a Supreme Court decision. We may not get all the details in here, but the issue has been thoroughly vetted, and so as a group we're going to come to this with a sense of the committee response. It's the best that we can say going forward. But in this particular case, unlike the Supreme Court, there aren't any dissenting opinions. We're just going to come at this as a sense of the committee. This is our overall final understanding based on the discussions we've had among ourselves. So we can put out there kind of as a policy statement based on what we have discussed here. Okay, hopefully this has kind of made some sense and will help you move forward. As an end product, I'm looking for an audio-visual presentation of your actual debate discussion. And I assume most of you are going to use Collaborate, but certainly WebEx or Skype or some other tool is acceptable. And I also need you to produce a PowerPoint slide deck that has your major points there and your final conclusion. This is not a master's thesis, so please don't go overboard. I'm not expecting you this to be a huge, big thing. Shorter and quality stuff is going to be a lot better here. Having said that, I don't want you to blow it off. I want you to do a good job, but not simply to go overboard here. Get to the heart of the discussion, have some give and take, say what you want and need to say, and be done with it, and get on. At the end, the moderator has the responsibility of providing a summary statement or closing remarks, and the moderator is going to actually present the final kind of sense of the committee response as part of the discussion here. So that's sort of the way I want you to proceed. If you've got any technical help with the aspects of Collaborate or other tools, then you might want to give Nancy Shelton a call up front and get some help doing that. It all should work smoothly. You should by now have some ability to do that. If you've got any other questions, of course, you're welcome to call me and let me know how that's going, if I can help. So good luck with that, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I enjoy reading your discussion notes, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what you're going to say in the debate itself. I think that's going to be fun. But take care.